Hey everyone, welcome to part 3 of our spring road trip to Central Oregon. And if you haven't already seen parts 1 and part 2, you might want to go and check those out. Before we jump into today's video, I thought I would show you our route on the map. So we started down here in Southern Oregon, and we skirted along the outside of Crater Lake and got on Highway 97 all the way to Bend. And you can watch part 1 for all of that. Then in part 2, we drove from Bend to Redmond, and we also did Terrebonne. And that today you're going to see us go from Redmond over to Sisters, and we spent the day in Sisters and also had dinner there. And then we drove about 10 or 15 minutes and checked into our cabin on the Metolius River right there in Camp Sherman. Then after 2 nights there, we came along Highway 20 and then joined up to take this road here along the Mackenzie River. And this is in part 4 where we show you a beautiful waterfall just right off the road, and also we show you a hot springs. And we took this road along the Mackenzie River all the way to Eugene, where we spent the afternoon at a rhododendron park, had a great Thai lunch, and then we hopped on I-5 all the way back down to Southern Oregon. Whereas the similarly sized town of Jacksonville in Southern Oregon, where I am from, is a true historic town with buildings dating back to the gold rush days. Sisters, Oregon, which also has a population of around 3,000, feels a little more staged in that the buildings are new but made to look like a Western town. Majority of the shops are really catering to tourists and are along one main street, although there's some things on the outer lying streets as well. I'm going to start with sharing just a handful of shops like this one that we went into that were kind of interesting or unique in some ways. I love antique stores like Kalamazoo, where it's kind of like a walk down memory lane. I don't know about you, but I grew up going to parties where we played Pin the Tail on the Donkey. Comment below if you ever played Pin the Tail on the Donkey or read If I Ran the Zoo. Oh, and look at these old sheriff and police badges. We went from the old right into the new, into rescued living, where they have a wide range of very tasteful home decor and accessories, or unusual or special gift items as well. A little further down the street was another walk through memory lane when we stumbled upon the Candy Corral. Talk about a sugar rush, oh my goodness. But hang on a second, because wait till you see what we discovered there. Okay, so we're going along and there's all these help yourself bins, and there's the usual things and the things that you can remember from when you were a kid, or gummy bears, that kind of thing, jawbreakers, and on and on and on. And then we're going along. Okay, I'm going to speed things up because I don't know about you, but I have never seen this much candy in one place before. Have you? These are like saltwater taffies. Look at how long that row of candies are. And then it just goes on and on. Every possible like candy bar from your childhood and you name it. Including handmade chocolates, and then every possible gum you can think of, and every like sucky candy you can think of. Just goes on and on. And then we're going along, and then look at what we found. Crickets. I kid you not. Crickets, but it gets worse. Then there's worms, and then a scorpion lollipop. Are you kidding? And then look at this. Yes, more crickets. They call these cricket lickers. And then ants. Who would eat this? And then there's this whole world of like imitation gummy bologna and imitation gummy macaroni and cheese, and even gummy bacon and Lunchables. Moving on down the street, there is a bakery, but it was closed, so we only got to see the bread in the window. We poked our head inside the sports bar and found another fancy schmancy bar down the street where they had really interesting looking cocktail accoutrement. This is at a relatively new restaurant called Famille. We've only tried a few restaurants in Sisters, but I'm going to be honest and say that we have found that the food in Bend, the restaurant choices, and what we've eaten in Bend is a lot better than what we've tried in Sisters. I will say that Sisters has one of my favorite grocery stores called Oliver Lemons. And the thing about this store is look at how they display their produce. I just love it. Love that look. It's so creative. And everything looks fabulous. However, the prices are quite steep. They also do have a Ray's grocery store. And whenever we've gone to stay in Camp Sherman at the cabin, we usually pick up any last minute ingredients or items that we need from either of these two stores. It's about a 10 or 15 minute drive from Oliver Lemons to the cabin where we're staying. And I just want to show you some of the scenery along the drive there. Absolutely love staying at the Cold Springs Resort on the Metolius River, and we choose to get a cabin not directly on the river like many of the cabins there are, but we choose to get the one named Willow that has a cold springs in the backyard, and in a little moment I will show you why. But right now we're walking across the parking lot down the path where the cabins are that are on the river, and those cabins have nice green grass in front of them, and then there's a little railing, and then right beyond the railing is the river. So when you get one of those cabins, you can hear the river just rushing by, and there's all kinds of wildlife on the river, including these geese. So here's a quick look at the riverfront cabins at Cold Springs. Walked over this bridge to walk alongside the banks of the Metolius ever since I was in my 20s, and I'm in my 60s, so you do the math. And it's always been one of those magical, happy places. It's just got a peacefulness, this river, like no other river I've ever experienced. I just love it, and I highly recommend that you at least visit the Metolius once. We love to come in the springtime before the whole summer rush happens, and there's just such a peacefulness, and you feel almost like you have the river to yourself. Just a short meander through the forest and alongside the river is the heart of Camp Sherman, which is really the Camp Sherman store and gas station. And just right across from there, lo and behold, there is an Hola restaurant. I mean, imagine just camping or staying at the cabin in the woods, and you could just pop in there for happy hour or a little flan. You can sit inside or outside and listen to the birds in the trees. We love to get there margaritas and have dinner, and then take a nice stroll along the river back to the cabin. So the reason we love this particular cabin is not only because it's so light and bright inside, but it's so cozy in there. And also, the back deck looks out right onto the Cold Spring Pond. And we're just like a breath away from being right next to the wildlife and listening to the birds. And it's so peaceful and so much more private right there. And it's just such a lovely place to hang out. There's a fire pit there. And just watching these sweet little babies. Like we can look out the window and watch them when we're having breakfast or just sit out on the back deck and look at, they're just everywhere, these little babies. It's just so precious. Such a precious opportunity to be so comfy cozy, but right next to these guys. See, here I am on the back deck, and there they are. We're just literally a stone's throw away. And then just a little short walk off to the left is a pond that's designated just for teaching kids how to fish. Another really fun thing we love to do is to go 5 miles north of Camp Sherman to go to the fish hatchery. The Metolius River in Oregon is widely considered a world-class fishing destination, and here's why it's so highly regarded. First, it has crystal clear spring-fed waters, and you can see that in the middle here. You can see that beautiful turquoise blue water. So unusual to see that in a river. And the Metolius River originates from a spring at the base of Black Butte, which means it is consistent with how it flows and the temperature year-round, which make it ideal conditions for trout. It's a catch and release fishery for wild trout, including rainbow trout, bull trout, which is a threatened species, and occasionally there's brown trout as well. And the river is known for being technically demanding, which makes it a favorite amongst experienced fly anglers. And it's not a numbers river, but it's a quality one, so I'm told. The other thing that makes this so special is it has stunning old growth forests around it. The hatchery itself is a great place to come with the whole family.
Spooky.
You can purchase fish food for 25 cents. So be sure to bring quarters. And it's just really fun to feed the fish. And also there's a larger pond where there's both fish and geese. And it's kind of fun to see the baby geese fighting with the fish for the food. Thank you so much for coming along on this adventure in Central Oregon. And there's one more part that's coming next, part 4, and that will be showing you what it's like to drive along the Mackenzie, going through Eugene to get back to Southern Oregon. If you enjoyed this video, I would so appreciate you hitting the thumbs up. I always love to hear any of your comments, and I look forward to seeing you in part 4. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you soon.